Good
Well,
morning, everybody. Welcome to Mediawipe. It's been a long while.
ain't that the truth, man? I'm excited to be finally back. Unfortunately, though, this is our last episode.
Yeah, we for a while we did get canceled because of an incident that happened that we're not going to get into.
Yeah,
but
it was a mistake on my part. I'll say that much.
But yeah, now we get one final show. I'm pretty excited for this, and yeah.
Let's get right into it.
So today's episode is going to be a little different than our past ones. What we're going to be doing today, instead of explaining lost media or missing people, we're going to be explaining a horror concept, which is becoming more and more prevalent nowadays, especially through the advent of analog horror. And this is what is called the Uncanny Valley.
Man, I remember when I first saw the Uncanny Valley stuff when I was like 10. My goodness, that stuff scared the crap out of me. Not so much anymore. Kind of oversaturated.
Well, I mean, it's kind of Uncanny Valley is meant to be off-putting because it's a mental phenomena that occurs when something doesn't look quite human.
Yeah.
The explanation of this is a little bit, a little vague.
There's a lot of theories as to what's going on.
I'm going to go on a spectrum here, and that's going to be, so at the bottom is like an industrial robot, doesn't look human.
Yeah.
And we're okay with that. It looks A-okay. Toy robot is next, looks decently closer to human
like those,
than industrial robot, but we're
like
still
those
pretty
little things
comfortable.
that play music and just go.
And then you get into the absolute dip of it, which is like prosthetic hands, AI images, stuff like that. And then at the top you have healthy person.
Yep.
The Uncanny Valley is that little gap between animated and actual person.
Yeah.
A good example.
Would you mean inanimate?
No, I mean animated. I mean as in
Forgive me, I misunderstood.
Like a good example is like the Polar Express movie from a few years back.
Good God, they look like those things had coal in their eyes.
Yeah, the CGI in that movie is so terrible that it just kind of makes it look like there aren't any human characters. Like there's just something off,
Yeah, I'd say.
The other good example is Sophia the Robot by Hanson Robotics.
Oh,
that's the one that they would have like TV interviews with, and would absolutely scare me when I was a child. That's another thing. I was part of the reason I'm into like sci-fi and horror and things like that is because I saw an interview with this robot back when I was in my engineering class because my teacher thought it was cool, freshman year. And yeah, it terrified me because not only was it speaking on its own through its own process and intelligence,
that makes sense,
but it also looked creepy as heck.
Par for the course with most sort of early artificial intelligences. Yeah,
and I know our buddy Jackson and Harley are going to appreciate this one, and that is another good example of the Uncanny Valley is the graphics of Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
they're very like PS3 era, so people don't exactly look like people. There are definitely times where like you'll be playing the game and there's something off. And to be fair, since it's a horror game, it kind of adds to it.
Honestly, it does. It gives it a bit more charm, I'd say.
Yeah, but still, So, what are your personal thoughts on the Uncanny Valley?
For a while, I really, really disliked the concept of mimics and such. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I begin to realize it's just a lot easier to handle the Uncanny Valley for me now because I've just seen a lot of it.
Right. It's become so oversaturated that, there isn't really as much terror to it.
I mean, before the Uncanny Valley was something you almost never saw, but
it was always accidental.
Fix, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the accidental kind of Uncanny Valley is way scarier than intentional because you can tell that when it isn't meant to be what it is.
Yeah, I would say another good example of the Uncanny Valley is shots of the Jurassic Park robots from the movie versus today.
Yeah.
That gives you a really big off-putting vibe.
To be honest, I haven't really seen many of the new Jurassic Park movies, so it doesn't really matter to me.
No, I meant the actual condition of the robots from the originals compared from when they were made to how they are now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I misunderstood what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Now, I think we need to get into a bit of a song from a very special partner of the channel. He's the guy that made the outro music for every single pre-produced Mediawipe. This is Telescope by Skyrunner.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back. My brain has left me stranded for some transition ideas. Anyway, here's Stranded by Gojira.
And we're back. I hope you guys liked Stranded by Gojira, everybody. Now, I think it's time for us to kind of get into the discussion of theories around this Uncanny Valley.
Now this is the fun stuff.
Yeah. So, the one I wanted to start with first is the one that I think is the most likely, which is the categorization theory. And pretty much what this means was back in, like, we're talking, I don't know, 80,000 years ago?
Yes.
When there were different kinds of humans, when there were, like, different...
Neanderthals.
Neanderthals.
Very different...
Homo erectus, things like that. The categorization theory says that the Uncanny Valley comes from our sense to distinguish the different kinds of humans, that the ones that would be the ones that were here to help us and the ones that were here to hurt us back in...
Pretty much, which does make quite a bit of sense, given... I mean, you can even sort of see that, like, in later periods, like during the medieval times, where a lot of people would try to categorize between different races, which I guess that's just racism, but...
Yeah, it is.
I get...
yeah.
The Uncanny Valley was just spawned by racism.
I really hope not, honestly, but...
Yeah, that does kind of suck if that is
the one that the two that I hope are the case, though, are the disease theory, which pretty much what the disease theory is it says that pretty much the Uncanny Valley comes from our ability to determine if somebody back in the day, if somebody was infected with something or a healthy human being.
Rabies.
Yeah. Like
rabies, TB, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like jaundice, things like...
Jaundice is actually pretty easy to tell.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm saying, like a way you could tell that somebody was not quite right because they were ill. And I think that definitely has some credibility to it.
Quite a bit, I'd say.
Yeah. And then Neanderthal kind of goes with the categorization theory.
Yeah.
Which is early... I forget the name of what we are specifically.
Homo sapien.
Homo sapien, thank you.
Yeah, the modern humans are Homo sapien, and older ones are Homo sapiens. I thought there was another word for that.
Yeah, there is.
I remember. Oh.
There is, I can't think of it at the moment. But yeah, this theory posits that pretty much early Homo sapiens developed this,
sort of fear.
This sort of fear and sense to determine between other Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, because at the time they were competing species.
Yeah, they were very heavily competing species.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So it was...
Still, I wonder what took out the Neanderthals. It just doesn't quite make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my at least my own personal theory is that disease killed the Neanderthals, because that
could be the case.
That's a tale as old as time. It's killed many species.
Ain't that the truth? Still happens nowadays.
Yeah, especially with plant diseases.
Chickens.
No. The next one is the one that scares me the most: the Uncanny Valley predator theory. This theory posits that we developed this sense of detecting if something's not quite human because there was something in the past that wasn't quite human hunting us.
Yeah, that
I'm not a fan of this. Please, no.
That I would have to say is one of the scariest possibilities. Even more scary than there's aliens or something like that.
I would prefer it be aliens. Thank you very much. Speaking of aliens, that's our next theory.
Oh no.
Is that we had aliens come during the Neolithic era.
I want to believe.
And since they looked like little gray men, we developed this sense to, just distinguish them between normal humans.
But hold on, if they were little gray men, I would be pretty certain that we could just easily distinguish them.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that
size difference alone would be able to help us out, especially with how tall older humans used to be. They were massive.
So honestly, I'd say if the bipedal aliens are a thing.
Yeah.
They would have to look at least decently similar.
I'd say mostly similar because...
If this theory is true.
Yeah.
If this theory is true, which I'm not saying it is, honestly.
It's the least likely and sounds more like a headcanon than anything else.
Yeah, even the Uncanny Valley Predator is more likely than that.
Yeah.
Because that could tie into either the Neanderthal or categorization theory if it really needed to.
Yeah, or it was vampires or something like that. Honestly, vampires would be totally rad.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wanted to try to go against that, but yeah, it would be kind of cool.
Castlevania.
Yeah. Speaking of blood, we're going to be getting into Blood and Thunder by Mastodon. Take a look.
everybody, welcome back. You better watch out for them trees that got real shady, because vampires like to walk in them. Anyways, here's Walking Shade.
And we are back. Hope you guys liked
truth.
Walking Shades by Black Space Riders. Now, we're going to be getting into a little bit of folklore.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it kind of fits with the Uncanny Valley setup here. It's the legend of the Doppelganger. Now, this is Double Walker in German, and represents a being who is said to take the form of a living person whose goal is to replace you. This is also seen in other mythologies like changelings in Irish mythology and such like that. While the term doppelganger...
Little wee fellas. Hey, annoying.
Yeah. Little wee fellas. They're really annoying. Anyways,
that's a German accent.
No, that's honestly no. Oh, you want to hear my German accent? Yes, no. But the term doppelganger has only existed since sometime in the 18th century.
Oh, no.
Stories of doubles and similar like are thousands of years old. I had to do it. I had to do it to him.
That pained me so much.
I know. I could see like the... like just on your face.
I'm 90% German. Why did you do that?
I'm half German. I can do that. Okay.
I don't mean to sound like.
I know it's an awful accent. I know.
I don't mean to sound like a eugenics buff, but that was just inferior.
Okay. All right. Back to let's get a little back on topic here. Now, stories of doubles and similar things like that are thousands of years old. This isn't just like a doppelganger thing.
Even I think Native Americans had quite a few similar things.
Skinwalkers.
Yeah.
That's one thing, because a lot of people don't know this. Skinwalkers don't have to be just animals; they can also be people.
Like, I think that's the whole point as to why they were so afraid of them, because you know they could be your chief leader, or the shaman who could just be lying to you.
Yeah.
I wonder. I just got a personal theory. Actually, no. That would take too long to explain. Nah.
All right.
I'll tell you later.
All right. Now, some media that I think really has a good grasp on the concept of the Uncanny Valley is Mandela Catalog.
Oh, my goodness. That is creme de la creme right there, man.
Yeah, I got a couple of sleepless nights off this show. Now, if you didn't know what Mandela Catalog is, it's a YouTube web series made by a little guy called Alex Kister. Yeah. And it basically has to deal with demons that can take the form of other people invading a place called Mandela County.
Yeah, which is in Ohio. So
I'm not gonna do it.
We're not gonna do it again. We already did it during Brian Schaefer. We're not gonna do it again.
Yeah, like we've made enough Ohio jokes.
However, Outback is still garbage. I will say that.
Yeah, Outback is still bad. We will continue our crusade against Outback Steakhouse into college.
We will never get that sponsor.
We're never getting the Outback sponsorship.
Who cares? It's crap.
Yeah, but so basically in Mandela Catalog, there are a bunch of different kinds of these. There's some that look almost exactly like the person. Then there are
the one that does not look like anything at all, and those are the things that scare me the most. I do not like those things.
Oh, the one that scare me the most are the ones in between that, the almost human. Well, they're just missing one or two things that would make it like that person, and that is terrifying to me.
Oh.
Because it's so close to being a person, but there's just something off. It's literally the definition of the Uncanny Valley.
Pretty much, yeah.
My next example for this is going to be The Thing, the good one, not the 2009 remake that nobody likes.
We love John Carpenter.
Yeah! Anyways. The Thing is an amazing movie, first off. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Oh, my goodness. And the puppetry. I love it.
Yeah. Once again, this is a time before CGI, so they had to puppet everything with the monster being on screen.
I still think puppeting should just be the only thing that's used, not CGI. Only look for special effects stuff.
Yeah. There is only one or two times I think CGI worked better, like CGI Yoda.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But
definitely.
The thing is, the whole story is basically a guy is chasing a dog coming into this camp in Antarctica.
Yeah.
They think that the guy's crazy, so they kill him, and bring the dog in. Now the dog is not an actual dog. This is a being that has replaced this dog. And
throughout that was found under the ice.
Throughout the rest of the film, it continues to assimilate members of the crew until eventually they get down to the last two, which are Childs and McCready.
Yep.
Now in the end,
just so you know, those are the two main lead researchers. So
yeah, they're the only two that I know the actors' names of, which are Keith David for Childs and Kurt Russell for McCready. Yeah. Which I must say, very good Probably Kurt Russell's best performance is in this movie.
Definitely. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the ending is a little ambiguous because
Honestly, yeah.
Because you don't know if Childs or McCready are infected at the end. Yeah, all you know is that one of them isn't.
Yeah.
And that at least one of them isn't. And that makes that ending kind of fulfilling, even though it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the better fulfilling cliffhangers.
I like it. It's honestly good fun.
I prefer not knowing if they're infected or not at the end.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic end. And the other thing I wanted to discuss just real quickly is Gemini Home Entertainment.
Oh my goodness, I love it. But it gave me so many sleepless nights.
I've actually played the game that came with that.
Oh.
Yeah, I downloaded it onto my PC. It's short, but it's real nice. Gives you a little bit more lore on the universe.
Ah, we got a clue sniffer right here.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Gemini Home Entertainment surrounds these things called wood crawlers, which are basically trying to evolve to mimic humans so they can use them as a food source.
Yeah.
Literally, the preferred nesting location for these things is a suburban home. Like, they are
and
creepy.
also, the center of the earth.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't think, when I remember correctly, it wasn't the wood crawlers trying to assimilate humans. It was a separate, really weird rogue planet that was like an organic being that was trying to assimilate Earth.
Yeah. And then they did that through the wood crawlers, I'm pretty sure.
Wood crawlers and this one other thing that looks really tall, and it honestly kind of looks like a neuron.
Yeah, or like a Siren Head.
Yeah. No, not quite Siren Head, but more like a neuron.
Yeah, just like a standing mass of just like
Flesh.
nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly, out of all of these, I think this has the best scares.
Oh yeah,
best
100%.
Scares, very well written. I would say out of the three we've talked about, the best written is probably The Thing.
That's hard not to be. It's hard to be The Thing.
Yeah, best story is probably Mandela Catalog.
Yeah.
And just the scariest in general is Gemini Home Entertainment.
Oh
because
my goodness.
The one thing that has still stuck with me is the shot of the, like, it sounds like a scream, just somebody saying, like, somebody help me, you know?
Yeah.
And they pan to the shot of just this thing moving around. The mouth isn't moving. The arms aren't moving. It's just walking around like this. And it's...
Yeah, it's got his arms, like, all splayed out and such like that.
Yeah.
Looks like the dude... I don't mean to say this makes it sound weird. It looks like the dude's been crucified.
Yeah, or like it's like on strings.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know, like on...
Yeah, either one.
Honestly, I think that might be kind of the case.
Yeah, I think your idea may be a bit better. Of course, my background lets me tie things more biblically, but...
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah. Now, I think, unfortunately, it's about time for us to wrap up here.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm really happy that we were able to get the opportunity to do one final episode before I head off to college.
Yeah, I would like to say one thing. I thank you, Mr. Jennings and Mr. Harvath, for your generosity.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This is not something I ever anticipated would have happened.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to do a special sign-off here. All right, before we were so rudely interrupted...
I wouldn't say that was really rude. That was kind of necessary to hear.
Yeah.
Like, that's a major rule violation. You don't do that.
Yeah, it may or may not be against the law.
It is against the law, man.
Yeah, may or may not be against the law in all 50 states. Anyways, I just wanted to say that I've had a really good time doing even just the pre-produced stuff for the show. Mediawipe is like my child, pretty much.
I'm glad I could help you out with it.
Yeah. I'm going to continue this in college on the radio station down there in Vincennes. And I just want to say thank you for watching, for staying with the show for this entire year. And even you that have been there since the first episode last year. I just wanted to say before we go here, I know that the show got canceled for a while, and I wasn't really happy about that. But at the same time, being able to come back and do this after a bunch of I wouldn't say public outcry, but, you know, after a bunch of persuasion was a really, really nice opportunity. And I would just want to
I guess it makes us feel even sweeter than it could have before.
Yeah. I just wanted to once again thank Mr. Harvath and Mr. Jennings for letting us do one more.
Yeah.
Without further ado, this is Mediawipe signing off for the last time this year.
Bye. See y'all.
And, keep your head on a swivel and stay safe out there.